This is Andrea Dresdell with ABC News Radio. We're with Clay Aiken, the new star of Broadway's Spamalot. How you doing, Clay?
The star. I don't know how I'd call myself that. I'm in it, for sure. There are people who are so much better than me, but I'm doing well, thanks.
So, Clay, you've done some pretty amazing things in your career. How does making your Broadway debut stack up against those things?
I think it's an honor. I think there's so many kids, people all over the country, especially high schoolers and teenagers who kind of aspire to do this. So it's very humbling to kind of have that opportunity. But I had no idea how exhausting it would be and how much work. I knew it was going to be harder than some of the stuff that I normally do, but I had absolutely no idea how much work is behind it and how much it's really kicking your butt,
Well, what's been the most difficult? Singing these types of songs, doing a British accent, or dancing? Or maybe all three?
The British accent, I've worked with a lot of British people over the years, so I kind of just, that fortunately was one of the easier things for me. The singing, I really don't even sing in this show. The part that I my big songs are not very sung. And so that was kind of easy. It's the dancing that is killing me. What? Where did these people come up with these? Who? I told someone the other day, I said, Broadway, you people cannot just do one thing at a time. You have to do 6 things at a time. You got to sing and dance and act and talk and play piano. You can't just do one thing at a time. We got time. But they got to do everything at once. And that's what's killing me, having to remember to sing and put my right foot to the left, up, down, jump, hop, turn around. My brain can't do all that stuff at once. I can't move that fast.
Now, I heard that when you first saw this show, you thought it was pretty silly. So what was it that kind of pushed you over the edge to make you think, yeah, I want to be in it?
Well, the first time I saw it, I did. I thought, it's not like anything else you've ever seen on Broadway. It's completely different. And that was kind of what makes the show as good as it is. I think that's what makes it a hit. Because Broadway's full of musicals that are, I won't say stock, but they're they kind of follow the same arc. There's a storyline, there's this plot, and there's a song that makes you cry, a song that makes you dance, a song that makes you sing, all that stuff. This show is like the anti-musical in a way, and I think that's what's made it such a hit, because it's really this breath of fresh air on Broadway. And we've had people who've asked us to consider doing other Broadway shows in the past, and for time reasons or for just for whatever reasons we weren't interested at the time. And when this one came along, it was kind of like, okay, this is an opportunity to do something completely different. People have been saying for a while they thought I should do Broadway. And so I just think it was an opportunity for me to do something completely different. If I'm going to do Broadway, let's do something strange.
Well, given that you weren't a big Monty Python fan before, has being in the show kind of inspired you to kind of maybe go back and check out the troupe's past work?
Well, I've said in the past and probably got in trouble for it, I thought Monty Python was a person until like 4 months ago. I think it's funny. It's a very smart humor. It's not one of those humors. It's not like a comedy that slaps you in the face with a joke. You kind of have to keep up with it. It's very intelligent. And I made a point not to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail before I did the show and before I knew it. So it's once I've kind of gotten comfortable with it and kind of understand the show a little more, I'm going to go back and watch them. But I want to get my head and do my thing right now before I go back and try to, because I'm afraid, because I know myself, I'll start copying.
I'm sure that your fans have been pretty effusive in their praise of your performance in the show, but what about fans of the show? What have you heard from them regarding your involvement in it?
Well, I've only been around for a few days, so I don't know, but I think the neat thing about Spamalot and the neat thing about anything that Monty Python has my experience with them, is that what's really cool about the way Eric Idle wrote this show is that it's not about the people who are in the show. The script is the funny thing. You can put in the funniest person in the world, and it's really still all about the script. And you can put in the dumbest person, in the world, and it's really about the script. And that's really kind of what Mike Nichols, that's his directing style, is the person is not funny, the lines are. The script is the funny thing. And I think that's what's great about Monty Python. So it's kind of hard to, it's impossible to stray away from what is so great about Monty Python and what's so great about Spamalot, no matter who you are. So I hope that people, I think that Monty Python fans come for the Monty Python, and it doesn't really matter who's playing it.
Did you feel welcomed into sort of like the Broadway club by the veterans who'd been in the show, or did you feel like you were the outsider and you're trying to break into a clique?
Well, I was a little bit nervous about that going into it, because there are people who've done Broadway for years and years and years, and there are even more people who've tried to do it for years and years and years. And here I am kind of, taking a shortcut and jumping through, and people have been unbelievably nice. Just very welcoming from, every single person. There has not been one person in the cast or the crew or anything that haven't been wonderful. So I've been really blessed in that, that regard.
Now, your run is through May 4th. Do you have an eye maybe towards doing something more on this, or do you think you want to do something else when your run is over?
Well, we're going to be working on an album while I'm on the show. It's our goal to try to record during the day and do the show at night, if I don't pass out. We are working on that's our goal, and we're hoping to have the album out right after I'm done with Spamalot. If the end of the show is May 4th, then we're hoping to have it out within the next day or few days or weeks. So that would prevent me from continuing. But I kind of have to see how I feel. Right now I'm still trying to figure my way around. Step right, left, what, hop, turn, sing, line, note, what. So once I get comfortable with it, I think it'll be a little bit more easy to figure out how we might proceed in the future.
Now, what about the album? I mean, you've talked about how you felt about your past albums. What are you thinking for this album?
Well, we've been very lucky. The record label has been extremely supportive in trying to make sure that we put out something that everybody's happy with. It'll be the first time we've done an album with one producer, and that's kind of neat for me because he gets to be involved in the creative process too. And all the music's going to be original or new, and we're trying to work around a theme, a kind of a common theme that will be reflective of the last 5 years for me, and kind of the process that has been from 2003 to 2008. So I'm kind of excited about it because it's going to be music that's right for me and makes sense for me. But at the same time, we're kind of trying to make a body of work instead of just great songs. We're going to have great songs that all kind of mean something, hopefully.
And finally, I want to ask you about a comment. You've been saying a lot that the reason you don't watch American Idol is that you kind of compare it to high school. You needed it to get where you are today, but you don't go back and watch your old high school games. But don't you ever get curious about what's going on back in the old high school and what's going on with the teachers, so to speak?
Oh, well, no, most of my teachers have retired, and I think everything evolves. Things evolve. My high school would not be anywhere near the same as it was when I was. God, I'm so old.